Ever tried drilling a perfectly straight hole into wood? It's tougher than it looks, right?
Yeah, definitely not as easy as it seems.
Today, we're tackling a career that takes this challenge to a whole new level. Wood boring machine operator. And trust me, it's way more interesting than it might sound.
Oh, for sure.
We're using RoleCatcher's career guide as our chisel for this deep dive. So let's get started.
Sounds good to me.
You've got my attention. RoleCatcher mentions these operators use some seriously specialized equipment. Stuff like milling machines and boring jigs. I'll be honest, those terms sound a bit intimidating.
Don't let the jargon scare you. Think of it this way. A milling machine is like a supersized drill press, but way more precise. It's capable of making those precise cuts we talked about. Boring jigs, on the other hand, are like guides. They make sure the holes are perfectly aligned every single time. It's the difference between like trying to draw a straight line freehand versus using a ruler.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And these technical drawings RoleCatcher mentions, it sounds like those are crucial for these operators.
Absolutely. Imagine having a blueprint that dictates exactly where each hole needs to be, how deep, at what angle. These operators need to be able to decipher those instructions, sometimes down to incredibly small measurements. It's like translating a secret code, but instead of words, it's a perfectly crafted piece of woodwork.
RoleCatcher also mentions that the industry is shifting more towards computer-controlled machinery. I imagine that adds a whole new layer of complexity.
It definitely does. Think about it like this. Instead of manually controlling the machine, you're essentially programming it to make those cuts with laser-like precision.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's called CNC machining, and it's completely revolutionizing the woodworking industry.
So while mastering those hands-on skills is essential, staying up to date with technology is key for these operators.
Absolutely. The best in this field are those who can bridge the gap between traditional craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology.
Okay, so it's challenging, detail-oriented, and always evolving. RoleCatcher paints a picture of a career path with a lot of potential, especially when it comes to earning potential. They actually list high earning potential as one of the top pros of this career.
That's right. Skilled trades, they often come with competitive salaries, and wood boring is no exception. People are willing to pay a premium for that level of precision and expertise, especially in industries where quality is really important.
And let's be real, there's something incredibly satisfying about working with your hands and seeing those tangible results of your labor, right?
Oh, absolutely.
RoleCatcher seems to agree they've got hands-on work listed as another major pro.
Absolutely. For those who thrive in a hands-on environment, who get a sense of accomplishment from building something tangible, this type of work can be incredibly rewarding.
And when they say tangible, they mean it. We're talking furniture, cabinetry, even structural components and construction things people rely on every single day. It's like being a part of something bigger than yourself.
It's that sense of purpose that draws a lot of people to this line of work, you know? Knowing that the precision of your cuts contributes to the safety, the functionality, and the beauty of a final product, that can be incredibly fulfilling.
And let's not forget job security. It seems like skilled trades are always in demand. RoleCatcher actually emphasizes that job stability is another key advantage.
You've hit the nail on the head. Think about it. While automation might be changing certain industries, the demand for skilled craftspeople who could deliver that level of precision and craftsmanship, it isn't going away anytime soon. People will always need beautifully crafted furniture, well-built homes, and those everyday objects that require those perfectly placed holes.
So we've got good pay, job security, and the satisfaction of creating something tangible. But like any job, there are two sides to every coin. Let's flip the script and explore some of the challenges that come with being a wood-boring machine operator. RoleCatcher calls out some potential cons worth discussing.
And it's important to acknowledge these up front, right? Transparency is key when you're considering a new career path. One of the first things people often bring up are the physical demands.
That makes sense. It's a job that requires you to be on your feet, often in a workshop environment. RoleCatcher also flags that the work can be repetitive at times.
And while it's true that there's a physical component to the job, it's not about brute strength. It's about understanding ergonomics, using proper techniques, and working smarter, not harder. As for the repetitive nature, it really depends on your perspective.
So are you saying some people might actually enjoy the repetitive aspects of this job?
Absolutely. Imagine perfecting a skill, honing it to the point where you achieve like a flow state, you know? For some, that kind of repetitive precision, it can be incredibly meditative and satisfying. It's like the difference between listening to a catchy song once and mastering it on an instrument.
That's an interesting way to look at it. RoleCatcher also lists limited creativity as a potential drawback. I imagine that depends on the specific job and company, right?
You're right, it's not always black and white. While you might not be designing furniture from scratch, there's a lot of creativity and problem solving on the fly. You might need to adjust a cut based on the wood grain, or figure out how to achieve a specific design element within, like the technical constraints. It's about finding elegant solutions within a defined framework.
Okay, so maybe creative problem solving is a better way to describe it. Now, let's talk career progression. RoleCatcher maps out a pretty clear path from those just starting out to seasoned veterans.
And it often starts with an apprenticeship or entry-level role where you're learning the ropes from experienced operators. Think of it like learning the fundamentals of a new language. You start with basic vocabulary and grammar before you can write a novel.
So, what would an entry-level wood boring machine operator be doing on a day-to-day basis?
They'd be focused on mastering the operation of the machines, understanding those technical drawings we talked about, and ensuring each cut meets those strict quality standards. It's about precision, consistency, building that solid foundation.
And as you gain experience, you start taking on more responsibility, right? Like, what would a junior level operator be doing differently?
At the junior level, you're not just following instructions. You're starting to think critically about the process. You might be responsible for setting up the machines, making minor adjustments, even troubleshooting basic issues. Collaboration becomes key, working alongside more experienced team members.
It sounds like teamwork and problem-solving skills become even more important as you advance. So when you hit that senior level, what sets a seasoned wood-boring machine operator apart?
It's about leadership. Senior operators often guide and mentor junior team members, sharing their expertise and ensuring everyone adheres to those high standards of quality and safety.
They become the go-to experts, the ones you turn to when a tricky problem arises.
Precisely. They have that deep well of knowledge and experience to draw upon, whether it's troubleshooting a machine malfunction or finding a creative solution to a design challenge. They're also often responsible for daily production schedules, making sure projects are completed on time.
Speaking of expertise, RoleCatcher highlights a couple of certifications that can really boost a wood-boring machine operator's career. One is the Woodworking Machinery Operations Certification, which seems pretty self-explanatory.
It is. This certification validates your knowledge and skills across a range of woodworking machinery. It's like a seal of approval, saying, hey, I've got the skills to operate these machines safely and effectively.
And then there's the OSHA certification. Now that's all about safety, right?
You got it. OSHA stands for the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. This certification, it demonstrates a commitment to maintaining a safe working environment, which is absolutely crucial in any workshop setting.
So it's not just about being skilled, it's about being a responsible worker who prioritizes safety for yourself and those around you. But where do you go from there? What are the leadership opportunities for someone with experience and certifications under their belt?
That's where things get really exciting. One path leads to becoming a lead wood boring machine operator, overseeing an entire production line, maybe even multiple teams at once.
So you're not just a master craftsperson, you're a leader, a mentor, and strategic thinker. What kind of skills would someone need to excel in this role?
Think big picture. You're optimizing processes, collaborating with engineers and designers, and making sure projects are completed on time and within budget. It requires strong communication skills, the ability to motivate a team, and a deep understanding of every step in the wood boring process.
And for those who have their sights set even higher, what's like the pinnacle of a career in wood boring?
Well, for those ready to embrace that ultimate leadership role, there's the path to becoming a wood boring machine operations manager. This is where your expertise shapes the future of an entire department.
Wow. We're talking long-term planning, managing budgets, maybe even developing training programs.
Absolutely. You're not just overseeing day-to-day operations, you're shaping the vision, the culture, the future of the department.
It's amazing to see how far you can go in this field. Now, we've talked a lot about RoleCatcher as a resource for exploring this career path. What are some of the specific features they offer that can help someone actually land their dream job as a wood boring machine operator?
One of the standout features is their interview prep section. Imagine having access to a database of over 120,000 practice interview questions. It's like having a cheat code for nailing your next interview.
120,000. There's no way you wouldn't be prepared after going through all of those. What kind of questions can someone expect to encounter in an interview for this type of role?
Well, to give you a taste, let's walk through a few examples RoleCatcher provided us.
Okay, hit me with it. I'm ready to put on my imaginary hard hat and step into the interview room.
Great. First up, a classic opener. Tell us about your previous experience operating wood boring machines.
Straightforward enough? I guess this is your chance to highlight those hands-on skills and demonstrate that you know your way around the equipment. What else you got?
Next, let's test your attention to detail with this one. How do you ensure the accuracy and quality of the holes you drill?
This is where those tight tolerances we talked about come into play. I'd want to showcase my understanding of precision measurement and my commitment to delivering flawless results. What else might they ask?
Let's see if you're a problem solver with this one. How do you maintain and troubleshoot wood boring machines?
Okay, so they're not just looking for someone to operate the machines, they want someone who understands how they work and can keep them running smoothly. This is where those mechanical skills come in handy. Got any more curveballs up your sleeve?
Let's test your multitasking abilities. How do you prioritize and manage your workload when operating multiple machines?
Ah, the art of juggling. This is where organizational skills, time management, and the ability to stay calm under pressure would be crucial.
And we can't forget about safety. Can you explain the safety procedures you follow when operating wood boring machines?
This one's huge. I'd want to highlight my commitment to safety protocols, wearing appropriate gear, and maintaining a clean and organized workspace.
Speaking of precision, how do you ensure the proper alignment and positioning of workpieces when drilling holes?
It's all about those jigs, clamps, measuring devices, and of course, the ability to read those technical drawings like a pro.
Precisely. And to wrap things up, let's see how you handle technical documentation. How do you interpret technical drawings and specifications when drilling holes in wood products?
This is where you demonstrate your ability to decipher those blueprints and translate them into precise actions.
Exactly. Those are just a few examples of what you might encounter in an interview for this type of role.
Those are some really insightful questions, and it seems like RoleCatcher's interview prep feature would be an invaluable tool for anyone serious about acing their interview.
Absolutely. And it's not just about memorizing answers. It's about understanding the underlying skills and qualities that employers are looking for, and then showcasing how your experience aligns with those needs.
RoleCatcher also offers some cool tools to help you organize your job search and even get noticed by employers who are specifically looking for your skills.
It's like they've taken the traditional job hunting process and flipped it on its head. Instead of sending your resume into a black hole, you're essentially creating a profile that showcases your expertise and allows employers to find you.
So instead of being a needle in a haystack, you're a shining beacon of woodworking precision.
Exactly. And that can make all the difference in a competitive job market.
It sounds like RoleCatcher is a game changer for anyone serious about a career as a wood boring machine operator.
Absolutely. It's a one-stop shop for exploring the field, preparing for interviews, and ultimately landing that dream job.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the surprisingly complex world of wood boring to the incredible career paths it offers. To wrap things up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned.
We started by debunking the myth that it's just about drilling holes. We explored the precision, the specialized tools, and the critical thinking required to excel in this field.
We also talked about the importance of adaptability as technology continues to revolutionize the industry. The best wood boring machine operators aren't just skilled with their hands, they're also tech-savvy problem solvers.
And let's not forget the career progression. From entry-level apprentices to seasoned veterans leading teams and shaping the future of the industry, there's room for growth and specialization at every stage.
We even got a glimpse into the mind of a hiring manager with those insightful interview questions, highlighting the key skills and qualities that employers value.
But beyond the technical skills, what really stood out to me is the passion and dedication that woodboarding machine operators bring to their craft.
They take pride in their work, knowing that they're contributing to something bigger than themselves, whether it's crafting a beautiful piece of furniture or ensuring the structural integrity of a building.
So if you're looking for a career that's both challenging and rewarding, a career where you can combine your love of woodworking with precision and technology, then this might be the perfect path for you.
And with resources like RoleCatcher at your fingertips, you'll have the tools and support you need to turn that dream into a reality.
So there you have it, a deep dive into the world of wood boring machine operators, a career that's more fascinating and rewarding than meets the eye.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep. RoleCatcher also offers some cool tools to help you organize your job search and even get noticed by employers who are specifically looking for your skills.
It's like they've taken the traditional job hunting process and flipped it on its head. Instead of sending your resume into a black hole, You're essentially creating a profile that showcases your expertise.
So employers can find you.
Exactly. And that can make all the difference in a competitive job market. It's way better than just hoping for the best.
It sounds like RoleCatcher is a game changer for anyone serious about a career as a wood-boring machine operator.
Absolutely. It's a one-stop shop for exploring the field, preparing for interviews, and ultimately landing that dream job.
We've covered a lot of ground today. From the surprisingly complex world of wood boring to the incredible career paths it offers. To wrap things up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned.
We started by, debunking the myth that it's just about drilling holes.
Right. There's so much more to it.
We explored the precision, the specialized tools, and the critical thinking required to excel in this field.
We also talked about the importance of adaptability as technology continues to revolutionize the industry. The best wood-boring machine operators aren't just skilled with their hands, they're also tech-savvy problem solvers.
And let's not forget the career progression. From entry-level apprentices to seasoned veterans leading teams and shaping the future of the industry, there's room for growth and specialization at every stage.
We even got a glimpse into the mind of a hiring manager with those insightful interview questions, highlighting the key skills and qualities that employers value.
Totally. But beyond the technical skills, what really stood out to me is the passion and dedication that wood-boring machine operators bring to their craft.
It's inspiring.
Definitely.
They take pride in their work, knowing that they're contributing to something bigger than themselves, whether it's crafting a beautiful piece of furniture or ensuring the structural integrity of a building.
So if you're looking for a career that's both challenging and rewarding, a career where you can combine your love of woodworking with precision and technology, then this might be the perfect path for you.
And with resources like RoleCatcher at your fingertips, you'll have the tools and support you need to turn that dream into a reality.
So there you have it, a deep dive into the world of wood-boring machine operators, a career that's more fascinating and rewarding than meets the eye.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.